Hello, I'm TheNerdySteve and welcome to my movie review channel. If you like what you see, I'd appreciate you liking, commenting, or subscribing. Today I will be reviewing Death of a Unicorn in one take. So, let's go. Elliot, played by Paul Rudd, takes his daughter, Ridley, played by Jenna Ortega, to his boss's home in the mountains for a weekend retreat. However, on the way there, they hit something with their car. A unicorn? Apparently, this creature has some mystical healing properties that his boss would like to harness for himself, and the family would also like to harness for profits. But of course, there might be other unicorns out there, and they do not appreciate one of their own being taken. Death of a Unicorn reminded me of Jurassic Park. For those that haven't seen it or know about it, it's a film about a theme park with dinosaurs where everything that can go wrong does go wrong. Jurassic Park is a little bit sci fi, action, horror, fantasy, and a little campy in some places, but it all adds up to a very cohesive and engaging story. I don't think Death of a Unicorn does. Tonally, I found it to be a complete mess. Elliot and his daughter are on this trip after the very traumatic loss of the mother, and this is a very specific plot point that comes up over and over again. And for me, there was something about how this was handled and integrated into the story and characters' motivations that just felt so forced and false. Maybe you'll have a different experience, but it just didn't ring true for me, which probably led to a large indifference I felt towards the film. If you don't feel authenticity behind some of the characters' motives, then the movie becomes something else. Additionally, I think part of why I felt that distance was because the film was so inconsistently absurd in some places that this dark and grim and serious reality felt more alien than it would have otherwise. For instance, once the unicorn is hit by the car and the father and daughter duo investigate it, we're given a pretty realistic reaction to what just happened. Fine. Good. But then the daughter touches the horn and has this really psychedelic vision that is very, very weird. Okay, maybe fine, not realistic, but whatever. That's immediately followed by a silly thwack that just came out of nowhere, which again, fine and funny, but these three things happen so quickly and closely together, and for me, just felt like they came from different movies. And I expect certain things from certain genres, and I don't know what I was getting from Death of a Unicorn, and I don't know if it knew what it wanted to give. The movie does have a horror like atmosphere within it, but it was one of the least successful aspects of the film for me. I didn't find it particularly scary, and that's okay, but I just couldn't take it seriously, and I think I was supposed to. There was just something off about how the movie transformed itself from its comedic points to its horror aspects, because the movie is funny, and it can be a little scary at times, but unlike Scream, where the difference between the two is often very clearly delineated, the comedy and horror often undermined each other and made each feel a little less effective. I also want to comment that the CGI for the unicorns definitely ebbed and flowed in quality control. They definitely don't look pretty, which I think was the point. I don't have a problem with that. But they just didn't look consistently real. Again, I'm going to compare this to Jurassic Park and look at how good everything in it still looks. The unicorns here sometimes looked realistic, but often just looked like they were a couple edits away from looking like how they were supposed to look like. The best part of this movie are the performances. I think everyone did a wonderful job. I specifically loved Will Poulter as the stereotypical billionaire's affable and equally useless son, and the butler, played by Anthony Carrigan, is just an absolute delight. He's kind of the audience's proxy in this entire ludicrous situation, and just does everything I want him to do. If you like anyone involved, you'll be happy with what they did here. Despite how negative this review seems to be, I think Death of a Unicorn was fine. I don't think it did anything particularly new and exciting, and I didn't find its ideas or story to be particularly engaging. But I was entertained by it. It did make me laugh, and it went by pretty quickly. I think if you like any of the actors involved or this type of semi-camp style, then the movie might be worth a watch. I'm the Nerdy Steve, and thank you so much for watching. And as always, like and subscribe and comment below to tell me how right or wrong you think I am. Have a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. Bye.